Okay, it's recording. This is episode 22, and we got a Dr. Pepper that we're not sponsored. Soda Gang, I got a case of those a couple weeks ago.
I was feeling a little under the weather, so I got one. Just because it is cold season, and I don't know about you, but I haven't been properly sick other than having literal COVID since before COVID.
Same. I feel like everyone and their mom is getting sick because a couple weeks ago I got the flu and I was out with like 102
Oh
fever
my
that
God.
I was out cold. Like I slept 20 out of 24 hours in that day. I was like nonstop sleeping. Like the most I was awake was probably like an hour, but like I would be off and on. But I felt like I was gonna die. But how are you feeling now? Are you feeling
I
better
feel
now?
okay. Like, I just feel like because I haven't been properly sick in a while, my body's like, oh God, no, I'm dying. But I think I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
feel okay. I'm just like worried now because I'm paranoid.
have you been paranoidly getting COVID tests?
Yeah, and I'm just negative on everyone.
Yeah, let's go.
I go to CVS. I have a mask and a hoodie on, and I like hold them like this.
That's so fucking funny. Yo, okay. Have you ever bought a ginger ale when you weren't sick? Because I feel like that's only the type of drink
Never,
that, well,
never once in my.
when you
Oh, except when I go to the bar. This is my little drink hack. I get a green tea shot in a tall glass with ginger ale on top and ice, and it's delicious.
oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I want to do that. I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow night.
Awesome
I
party.
have to do that. I have to do that. But I feel like ginger ale is like the only, and they profit so much of it because everyone's sick. But I feel like that's the kind of like drink that only people when they're sick or old or to mix drinks with. Like I feel like no one
Yeah.
like it's not like a Coke where you're just like drinking it like throughout the day, you know?
No, yeah.
Okay, what are we actually talking about this in this podcast other than
You
music?
cornered me on campus and said, next podcast, we're talk about how hard it is to be an artist. And you scampered off.
Yo, that was that, that was so funny. I was like, you know what sucks? Being an artist. We should talk about that on the podcast.
Is there like a certain event that sparked that for you? Or just
No,
life?
life. Because like I was literally just because I was trying to think of a podcast or like a podcast idea, and I was just sitting there. I'm like, we need a podcast idea because like last week was a really fun episode, but there was little to no direction with that. And I was as I was editing that, I'm like the game was really fun, but I feel like that was like it should have been like a 10-minute like segment or something. But like somehow we managed to talk about an hour straight about
Things we liked and didn't like.
like honestly I was astounded that we were able to draw that out for an hour.
You know what? I think it was good. I
I
had a good,
It was so much fun. The amount of zoom ins that I did was so funny.
like, thank God. Like, truly, thank God.
Yeah, like unedited, I'm like, this looks so funny. Like if I just don't edit it, it's just like a bunch of just like us like giggling, just like like doing faces. But then I was like, you know what? I've been literally doing like working nonstop the past few weeks. Like the past couple weeks, or I guess last week and this week was the only 2 weeks where I just kind of like had downtime. But I was thinking, I'm like, the past 3 weeks before the previous or last week, I there was like a 3 week period where I was just would wake up at like eight in the morning and wouldn't finish work until like 1 in the morning. Like of course
Yeah.
I took like a couple breaks in between, but I'm like, you know what? I feel like every artist or within like the art world has experienced that. Like it's just like
Yeah.
crazy. Like this
And
almost
also,
burnt out.
because it's not STEM or stuff like that, a lot of people assume being an artist is a lot easier than it is. But I also think because of the way that it's also treated in the education system. Like, you have art and music as like electives, at least for me. And
Right.
I feel like people are like, oh yeah, like those are the easy classes and stuff like that. So yeah. But it's exhausting, truly exhausting.
Because I feel like, especially where we're at now, we're like at the point where we're just getting into the industry, and which is the most hardest thing to get into, I think. Because I think STEM, the other like jobs that you mentioned too, that weren't electives, because those like music and art was electives for like my school as well. Like those are those are like really hard because like you have to study and you have to, it's like very knowledgeable, and that's kind
Yeah.
of the hard path. But like once you get out of college, like it's
You
the
have a
path
guaranteed job.
guaranteed job. Like the diploma is like guaranteed. Like, but we have
So
to throughout college, we have to do that same work, if not more, because it's like it's not like okay, like this assignment, you need to know these information. Once you know it, like you can just fill out like a paperwork. With like art, like I'm editing, like I just sometimes there's like 12 hour days where I'm just editing, trying to get like the perfect thing. It's like very you're and then with you, like you can like speak on this too. Like I don't want to speak for you, but like from what you've told me in the past, you're just like you mentioned this last podcast where when you were like practicing for your last show, you were 2 weekend or just a weekend, you did a full 24 hours in just 2 days. And it's
yeah.
just like that's so common.
Well, and also like it's physically and emotionally exhausting to have to create in order to make money, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. And I feel like other jobs involve creativity to an extent, but in the arts, it's like here's my heart on a page or on a film, or here's everything I have emotionally invested in this. And if I don't do it right, or if I don't do it well, I don't make anything like money. So,
Yeah.
uh, of course, it's not always for the money, but I do think that it's fascinating that I've chosen to do this.
Like
I'm about to go real world mode so hard. I have 2.5 more weeks of classes, and then I'm a real person.
like isn't that so scary being like an actress?
Yeah, it's really scary.
Like I absolutely hate college, but the fact that I have another like 2 semesters left, I'm like, thank the fucking Lord. Like after this semester, I'm like 2 more semesters. I've never been more happy about 2 semesters in my entire life. I'm like, that's 2 months of delay where I don't have to go into the real world. But like
No. Keep talking about it. No. You're so brave.
I'm so sorry. Wait, okay. I think we
Uh,
talked about this. Yeah, we talked about this last podcast, I believe. But do you have any more certainty? Well, I guess you pretty certainly talked about it, but I guess I want to expand on the where you're kind of headed in that direction after college.
yeah. I mean, I'm applying for auditions almost every day, like online. Um, but like when you're in school, you kind of have the excuse of, oh, I can't agree to that time commitment because I'm still in school.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm just not really gonna have that anymore, which I'm excited not to have that excuse because I'm gonna finally be able to do what I want to do, but it's a really big jump, I think. Um, so yeah, I think that's why I feel pretty comfortable staying in Philly for a little bit and then making my way out. I have connections here. I've worked in theaters around here. I have like a stable job here. Um, but ultimately, like Philly isn't my my life. It's been my life for a while, but I'm like ready to try something new, which is exciting. But it's just figuring out what that transitional next step is that's a little difficult, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Have you like when did you, I guess, start applying for like these auditions?
It was an assignment last semester to like reach out to all these theaters. So now I just like reach out, and like when I did Dance Nation, I told a few people that I was in it to come see it, that kind of stuff. I haven't heard back from anything super big just yet, but I remember I was like talking to an older person in the business that I know that it's like you can apply for 50 jobs a week and hear back from 2 of them. Like
That's
that's just like the nature of this thing. Um which is really scary. I'm trying not to laugh about it, but it's so scary.
yes, I'm so 100% so scary. Like
But I'm I can't picture myself doing anything else, and I need to keep reminding myself that.
that's
Um,
that's the trap of being in art.
well, because I'm sure you can agree with that. It's like one of the most emotionally taxing things you can do, and there are people who are good at it, and there are people who are not good at it. And if you donate your entire life figuring out what to do with it, and only find out you're not good at it at like late in the game, like
That yes, that exactly why like I feel like with other degrees like you can be I feel like there's a wider range of it where it's like like really bad in which you're probably not going to get any jobs. Really good, it pays more, but there's a lot more degree variability in
yeah,
between that where it's like you can be kind of good and still make money and still like make a livable wage. Whereas what we're going into, it's if you're in that middle, there's less of a range. It's like
yeah,
there's like if you're not good, you're not gonna get roles, and therefore you're not gonna get paid. Like if you're not, it's simple as that. Like if you don't perform well, like you're done.
that's
Like
what it is.
and yeah, it's just not a good feeling to be in. I guess how are you dealing with like the stress and everything with it?
No, mostly. I haven't seen like a therapist in a while, just because I've I don't know, I'd come to a point with the one that I had at the time, and I was like, I think either I need to move on or I can just do some stuff for myself now, because I feel like I learned everything I could from her and took all of her advice.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I'm managing pretty well. I'm doing well in classes, that kind of stuff. I think the feelings that I'm having are not unique to just me at the moment, because I feel like so many people feel this way right now. So I feel like I have a decent sense of community in which I can talk about these things. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. Just like understanding that I'm not alone in this gross, crunchy feeling. How are you managing the stress?
Yeah, I mean, I'm I'm kind of taking it like a step by step because I think just with me having like two semesters left, it hasn't really like kicked in. Like it's slowly starting to kick in week by week.
Mm-hmm.
And what my plan is, here I'm only taking one class next semester, and then I'm going to the Study LA program over the summer, in which I'm taking like I'm getting I need an internship credit and another like writing credit, screenwriting credit, or like film writing credit. So it's basically like I feel like I have a nice transition into like school and not school because of how few credits I'll be taking.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know. I'm just trying to take it like a day at a time, and like I have a therapist now that I'm talking to about it and everything. And I was really struggling with this like last semester for whatever reason, because I'm like, oh fuck, I have like right really before the LA study away program. I was before like I made that an official plan. It was really setting in that I only had a year left instead of like a year and a half my junior year. Like towards the end
Yeah.
of my junior year, I'm like, oh, I only have a year left. So I'm like, oh fuck, like I don't have any like connections, internships as I would like I wasn't really planning to do anything over the summer. I was just like, fuck, like how am I going to like get into this role? I'm like preparing for like started looking for jobs. I started to like I'm still doing that as now, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying to take it step by step, and like the connections that I was able to make over the summer like helped a lot because that was like my biggest struggle with it, which calmed my nerves a little bit, but I'm still like stressed about obtaining like what I actually want to do. Because like what I actually want to do is like travel the world and
Yeah.
film and like make money off that, and which is a lot harder to do than just getting like a sit down editing job. Because like what
Yeah.
I want to do is like I want to be my own boss. I want to like not I want to wake up when I want to wake up, like, and just like be my boss in that way. Where it's like I'm still making a lot of money. I'm still like practicing, but I can like wake up at like 12 in the morning, or not 12 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon.
You're on a Batman schedule.
I nocturnal. I just turned I turned into a possum.
You turn into a possum?
I don't know why I said possum. I could have said like a
Awesome.
raccoon or something.
Awesome.
I have to tell you something, Licia.
Oh, I'm so frightened.
I'm a possum.
Well, I don't agree with the lifestyle.
Imagine if I just like morphed into a possum.
Like those Animorph books.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so. But
I
it
show you.
sounds so
I
funny.
show you right now.
Wait, you have to share your screen. You have to share your
Oh,
screen.
oh, I know. I have to, they're so ridiculous. Oh, that's a kid who turns into a cobra. Oh, I like the horse one. The horse one's funny.
Horses.
I
I
can
love
buy
how
the.
you're just intensely looking at your screen. Like I must find this. This is your actually. Oh, this.
You have to allow me to screen share, please.
Oh, do I? I don't think I have to do anything. Uh,
Fuck.
okay. I think I did it. Did I do it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Wait. Yes.
Animorphs.
Bro, I think I seen a bee bite just of like the faces, but I never seen like I didn't know it had an actual name. What the hell is this? Yo, this is Yo, that's my favorite one. What is the second version of it?
I don't know what
What the
this
fuck
is.
is that? That's not even a human. What the Yo, that was
I'm feeling like her right about now.
hey, I'm feeling kind of ratty. Let me just morph into a rat. Wait, is it a video series?
It's a book.
Is there? But
And
it's
it's like they get the powers of whatever animal they morph into.
how many books are there?
She looks so pissed.
Look at it.
So many. Like so many.
I I love how they're just all in the most awkward situations too. Like or like stances. Like why are they standing like that?
I always like the middle ones because they're just a little cursed.
They're a little demon-fied.
Thank you. That's my segment on Animorphs.
Yo, that was amazing. Here
Okay.
at Kids with the Forest Parents podcast, you learn about every media culture there is.
I have a brief sidebar. Did you vote?
I did.
Slay. Me too.
Dr. Oz all the way.
Yeah, yes, I voted for Dr. Oz.
Yes. Yes. How
I
fun.
was real worried for a second. I'm not even gonna lie.
Why?
I thought Dr. Oz was gonna win.
Apparently, didn't Fetty Wap win pretty bigly? I didn't think it was that close. Or maybe
Well, my mom texted me and she's like, Oz is gonna win, Hannah. Oz is gonna win. And I was so scared.
okay, let me just like not be saying anything.
No, it was 50.9 to 46.7.
Okay, I guess that's kind of a decent margin. But okay, okay. I think I remember just seeing like a lot of liberal people wearing throughout the country. I think that's why I saw like there was a lot of
Yeah, it was
because
a lot of places went blue.
yeah, because like I just remember seeing in the media like people were putting up clips because they were expecting like a red wave this country just because of
Yeah, that's what a lot of Republicans were calling it. They were like, the red wave's coming, red wave's coming.
they're
I said,
just so cool and like so like
no, it's the Facebook posts for me personally, because um there are a lot of Republican people in my life because of where I'm from. The posts were hilarious. You know those memes where it's like, you gotta check your kids' Halloween candy this year, and it's like Joe Biden healthcare. It's like that, but like serious. Like,
serious.
yeah, I saw one and it was like a political cartoon and it was a red wave and it was three donkeys um with like flotation devices, and one of them was like gas prices and the other one said abortion, and I'm like,
Yo, how can you
it's real.
yo,
Is it?
okay. How do you take that serious though? Like that
I don't know why people actually are like, no, you know what, that's gonna show them.
like what? I don't think they understand Gen Z culture. I know, but like I don't know. I feel like Gen Z, like this new wave of like this our generation is just entering like the political sphere because that one guy, I forgot his name. I should know his name, but Gen Z, he's like 25 years old, but he was like the
Hmm.
first Gen Z guy to make it into the government or one of the first people Gen Z like people to be
I
voted
think
into government or whatever. And we're just getting to see like us getting and stepping up into power. I mean, I think we still have like a decade and a half before we see a lot more people.
I think his name is Wes Moore, if I'm correct.
I believe that's him. Wait,
Or no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. His name is Maxwell Frost.
Max.
He is in Florida.
Yeah, it's Maxwell.
Yeah, Florida has a Democrat. Interesting, fascinating.
Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
But I think like I don't think the older generation understands our humor at all. So like
No,
with those political cartoons, like I don't think they realize that we're just gonna meme on them and just like not take it seriously whatsoever. And it's just so funny.
I'm gonna look up Republican memes. I'm so scared for what I'm gonna find.
Yo, I don't think it's gonna be good whatsoever. I'm half tempted to say that you should
Yeah, some of these are bad.
I'm half tempted to say that you should share your screen, but I'm kind of worried about
Yeah, no. I thought I was gonna be able to find the one that I had. Oh my god, here's one. This one's funny. This one I can share.
yes, yes, yes. Yo,
Why is it like Animorph?
bro. this this is actually just an Animorph podcast and
Yeah.
I can turn into whatever I want whenever I want. I saw this one tweet and everyone's just been making fun of it, and this one Republican's just like due to all like the like liberal nominated like government places or liberals getting like nominated in positions, and she was
Mm.
like, we should raise the voting age to 21. She, I just swear every time like a Republican doesn't get like elected into office, every like conservative person was just like, damn it, we should raise the age so these damn liberals don't get into office.
When. That's how I'm feeling right about it. Um, but yeah, not perfect, but still awesome that rights won't be jeopardized. Do you remember our podcast after everything with Roe v. Wade happened? And I was here like the whole time.
Yes.
Whole podcast, I was either pissed or like unresponsive.
Yeah, that was so bad.
If Pennsylvania would have gone the other way, this podcast would have been worse.
Yes, yes. I'm glad that Fetty Wap and Sharpie won.
What is this? What is this, a you thing? Is this a meme thing I don't know about?
Okay. Fetty Wap I got from H3H3 and
Okay.
Sharpie I just made up right now because his name looks like his Sharpie. Shapiro. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Every time I hear Shapiro, I always get slightly confused of him being liberal because I always think of Ben Shapiro. I'm like, why the fuck is like I always think it's his brother or him himself. I'm like, why is like everyone voting, trying to vote for him and they're liberals? Like he's so anti-liberal. It's like, why the fuck?
Yeah. Oh my God, Ben Shapiro.
What a guy.
What a guy. Did
What a
you vote in Philly or did you vote at home?
I voted in Philly because when I registered for like J&H because I just thought like since I want to be living here for four
Gotcha.
years, I just waited until I like lived in Philly and I didn't want to register in Lancaster because I'm like at the big election, like
You didn't want
2020
to go up.
election. What was it?
You didn't want to go home and everything.
Yeah, I just didn't want to have the trouble of going home and yeah, I just was like I think that was the midterms as well too. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna be in Philly while the midterms are going. So I might as well just be in Philly so I don't have to backtrack.
Yeah.
But
I voted in Philly. I thought I was registered at home, so I did go home.
oh no.
Found out I wasn't registered at home, came back to Philly, voted immediately. So I voted on Gratch Street,
Wait,
the church.
I don't even how
Because
far
I live on Diamond Street.
yeah, I'm just trying to think where that's at because I'm not familiar with like the south part
It's
of
like
the campus.
19th and Gratz. It's far. It's like J&H is here. I was over here.
What the fuck? Wait, why did you register all the way over there?
Because that's where I was living at the time.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. I do. You move around so much. It's
I
crazy.
know I did. I'm like, I'm gonna move.
But I'm lucky because like I registered at J&H. So literally we moved and like we've been here. The Young Bulls have been here for 3 years. So literally it's just a block down. Like I just have to
Awesome.
walk a block.
Very nice. Did a
Like
lot of people go to your poll? Do you know?
I'm not quite sure. I went like kind of later in the afternoon because like I had like classes and I was like busy doing homework throughout the day, so I couldn't make it until like later. So I knew a couple people that went there, but it wasn't like too busy.
Yeah. There weren't a whole lot of people while I was there, and the lady was like, "Tell all your friends to vote. Tell all your friends to vote," and gave me 100 extra stickers. So it's like, all right,
All right, I got stickers.
whatever the lady says.
I'm so happy because I'm able to replace the I voted sticker on my laptop. It's so
You can get
nice.
a new one.
Yeah, because Josh, like a year ago, he spilled hot wax on my laptop and he was wiping and he accidentally wiped the sticker, even though there's no wax on the sticker. And it's been like kind of falling off ever since then. But I got a new
Uh,
one and I just placed it on top of it. It's so nice now.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. How the hell did we get onto politics?
I don't know. I thought we should bring it up because it happened.
I guess that is true. The last thing
Animorphs and voting.
what was that?
Said Animorphs and voting.
Oh yeah. I think that's going to be the title of this podcast, Animorphs and Voting.
Even though we're talking about being an artist.
Yes, that's exactly what being an artist is saying one thing and then doing the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's performance art. This
Yes,
podcast is performance art.
yes, yes. We are, one would say, acting right now.
Yeah, one would say that. I guess in regards to the artist lifestyle, I can go back to it. You were talking about like your 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. days.
Yeah.
That feels like every acting class I've been in has been like, you need to wake up early and do workouts and then do your day. And I just don't really think I want to do that. That
Yeah,
was the end of that. I mean, I understand it, but also here's my thing. You can put your 2 cents in on this. I think there are certain I was just joking about that. I'll do whatever. But I think that some teachers are more equipped to talk about the business than other teachers, because I know a lot of my teachers are like in their 50s and 60s, and I don't feel like I can learn much about the current business from them other than the basics from what they had experienced. And that was like the foundation of what had become like the modern business. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Do you have any like older teachers that you're like, well, I don't
I
think
feel
you
like,
understand right now?
yeah. Yeah, definitely throughout my gen eds, not my gen eds, throughout my like, I guess, basic like film classes, there's a lot of like older people. But I was lucky in the fact, well, yeah, okay, before I say that, I was like my screenwriting class, my experimental class I'm taking now, my videography class and experimental class. Like I had two classes where I remember like the both professors were had to be at least over like 75 years old.
Oh
And
wow.
like I'm not relating to you. Like I'm just like completing assignments for this class because I just don't feel like it's there's a connection there of them knowing the current climate in which how heavily like social media plays a part of it, and there's like so much to film and stuff
Mm-hmm.
that you can like take advantage of with social media, how you
And
can,
the technology of film changing too.
yeah, like better cameras, because there's a lot of professors even now like through the master classes like they don't have knowledge on these newer equipment, and I feel like you can get away with it a little bit of knowledge of like one particular camera for like 5 years. But like
Mm-hmm.
the technology is ever changing, so like it changes every year. And you don't
Yep.
necessarily have to keep up every year, but I feel like you should change your equipment or style every 5 years and have at least, at the very least.
Yeah.
And if you don't like keep up to date, then you aren't as knowledgeable. You don't know. You literally have to like teach yourself all over again. And I feel like some of these teachers are like reteaching themselves these newer tech like cameras because they didn't do it on their off time. And it's like frustrating because it's like how am I feel like especially freshman year, I feel like some of the editing skills like I already knew and some of like the cameras I already knew, but it's almost like we were learning together, which is frustrating. But
Yeah.
but I'm just with my editing class because like I'm taking the post concentration with or yeah, post production concentration. So I'm specializing in just editing, and my editing teacher, she's like awesome. Like
Yeah.
she's like she's not as old. She's like I think she's in like her 30s, I believe, early 30s. So like she knows all the Premiere tech, like she knows everything within Premiere. She's working outside of the class in like documentary work. Like she has a lot of projects, so she's keeping up to date with the newest Premiere. So like I'm
Yeah.
learning this past year that I had with her. I'm gonna have three total classes with her. The first one was advanced editing, and that was the first class where I've learned the most. Like in her class, I've learned more than I had like the previous like 2.5, 3 years. And I have like a master class one and master class two. I'm taking master class one this semester, and then it's my only class next semester. I'm really looking forward to it because she just like the way that she teaches, she's very technical, but she's with editing, like it's hard to teach technical stuff like that because it's so many like numbers and like decisions and stuff that you kind of like zone out when you're getting like lectured to about it. But she like does it in
Yeah.
a way where like she has like in class activities and like today, like I was editing in class and one of someone like we swap projects and basically like I'm doing the audio for it and I have with another student in the class, she was giving me notes on what she wanted like the how the audio was wanting it within her like film. So like it was literally me editing in front of like my teacher and like students and stuff. I mean, there's like only three other students in the class, so it was really small. But I was like editing in class, and like I learned so much, and I feel like my
Yeah.
other teachers didn't really do that.
Yeah. Well, like class sizes do make like such a difference. I'm taking like the final acting class this semester, acting 5, and there's 12 or 13 of us. I don't remember exactly. But like with a class like acting, you need to be hands-on. You need to have that one-on-one attention because it's so personal, which I think is very similar to editing because there's a style to it. There's a uniqueness in mine versus somebody else in the class. So like I think as you start to get to the more advanced classes, that needs to happen. And I think that's another thing. Like in some of the other majors that are deemed like STEM and that kind of stuff, like the class sizes are huge.
Mm-hmm.
From everything I've ever seen, it's like, oh my God, there's 30, 40 kids in that class. Kids. But you know.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the middle, like that's like the least amount of students in a class because I feel like you can get up to like 300 people for like some of the intro classes, whereas film you get and theater and like acting and stuff. I feel like there's not that many people within our majors too, but like I feel like at least for me, like the most like film class that I had with the most students was like probably like 100 people maybe 100. I don't know what I've for some reason 170 is coming to mind, but it was like
Hmm.
and I think it was like maybe 100 was the most I've ever been in. But that was like an intro class at the my freshman year, and ever since then I've been in rooms of max, like ever since those first two classes, like max I've been in a room of 15 students, like it's 15 or less.
Oh wow.
And it's like with the editing class that I'm taking now, there's only three other people. Like there's four
Yeah.
total people in my class. So it's like it's crazy.
That is crazy. That's nice though.
I hate like back itches because I'm like there's
I know.
in
I'm finding, so what I'm doing right now is there was a cat toy in my bed, and I
mm,
convinced myself that like something not supposed to be in my bed was in my bed. So, so that's why I'm like, because it like touched my foot and I was weirded out.
it's your
Someone's home. Hello. Hi, Maddie.
hi Maddie.
She's singing. I'm filming my
Oh,
podcast. You want to come say hi?
come say hi. How
Yeah.
how
She said she'll say hi.
hey
Hey, yo.
special guest star Maddie. We should interview a couple more people. I feel like we haven't had an interview in a little bit.
You should come over and interview my.
Yes, yes. What if you had a mukbang with your roommate?
Hi. We're on Zoom.
Hello.
Uh,
My parents are happily married. Am I going to get in trouble?
Get out.
no, you're not on the podcast anymore. She's banned for life. I don't want to ever see her again.
She's a fan.
Hey,
She needs her parents.
you know, I love this podcast so much, and it's like getting good reception too. I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
it gets, it still
Somebody
gets
commented on our last podcast too fast. Who was that?
too fast. Oh, I think that was Jay Cool. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Titus and I did a little live streaming over the summer, and it kind of like fizzled out once school started because like we got busy. But
Mhm.
we were bored over the summer, and we just wanted to live stream. And he was one of the fans. It's crazy. The story is crazy. Like he somehow showed up at the beginning of every single live stream and watched the entire thing. And we
Okay.
probably did like 30 of them. And they were like some of them, like the longest one was 8 hours. Like we live streamed for 8 hours and he was there for the entire stream and he would show up. Like the latest that he ever showed up was 10 minutes, but he would usually show up in like 2 minutes or less. Like that was his average. Like it was
That's
crazy.
insane. Because I was like
But
going through, I was like, okay, it's Kayla's mom. It's Kayla's mom. And I was like, who the fuck is Jacob?
Yo, we're getting famous.
Thanks for being a fan, Jake. I don't know what too fast meant, but I'm here and I'm listening to the feedback and I'm absorbing it.
Dude, don't you just love my mom's comments? Like I was reading them, I'm
Like, I
like,
love chubby Randy Jackson too, but I was like, thank God she gets it.
we should just do a podcast on my mom's comments.
Yes, I'm gonna pull out all my favorite mom comments.
We should have her on the podcast soon, and we should just go over her comments and be like, what made you comment this?
Now Val. I call you Val. Um, what was behind this one?
And why did you choose to comment 7 different times instead of
No, I like it. I like her style. I get it.
I like it too. It's like
I'll see what the whole thing because she has feedback from a whole bunch of different timestamps. I love it.
it's like I'm reading a text message. Like
it.
yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah. My mom's probably watching this.
It's us sitting in silence going, well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess so.
hmm,
Mm.
right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Over Christmas, side note, over Christmas, I'm getting a tattoo, another tattoo with my one high school friend. Do you want to make a trip to Lancaster? I get a tattoo.
Probably. Okay. What are you getting?
I'm I'm debating. I'm going through like a few, and I feel like I always like just make a hard cut like a week before. So I'm kind of forced. If I'm kind of forced to, so I have to send it in to the artist. If I didn't have to do that, I would probably make the decision once I got there. But I'm I want like the Illuminati triangle on the back of my arm here,
Slay.
like here. And or I want an MM where the M's like the lines like cross to make like a triangle, like they're connected, but it like makes a little triangle for Mac Miller. Like here, on my hand, or I wanna get like with my playing tattoo, I wanna get like 333 in red and like impact font like there.
Love.
And so yeah, those are just kind of like the couple that I'm like filtering through.
Love.
It just depends on how much money I'm willing to spend.
That's the one.
Yeah.
No, that's exciting. Who's your friend from high school?
His
Shout them.
name is Logan. I don't think I've mentioned him before.
I don't know if I've met Logan.
I don't think you have. I don't think anyone has met my high school friends other than Brendan, but he's the only reason why is because we went to the same high school together.
Yeah. Slay. Hi, King. I miss Brenda.
I miss Brendan too. That was a good episode. That one got a lot of views.
Yeah. Shout out Brendan Peach.
Wait, who should our next guest be?
You can do my roommates. Both of
Oh yeah,
them.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I guess we just did that.
Your mom.
And my mom. Should we do your roommates then my mom?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Awesome. We have our
Awesome.
next.
I feel it, yeah. I'm just trying. Okay, what were we originally talking about? Oh, wait, okay. Another element of being an artist
Go on.
is how good is your BSing skills?
So good. I'm the best BSer in the biz. I'm like, So actually, from this reading, I derived that the author is feeling sad in his life. So good. I'm great at BSing.
I believed you 100%.
Are
Yeah,
you a good BSer? Yeah.
the I just say shit that I can do when in reality I do not, and I have to go on YouTube the same
Oh,
day. I'm just like,
what's the
yeah,
most you've BS'd?
what was that?
What's the most recent thing you've BS'd?
I'm trying to think.
Mine is
The
probably like I had to do an assignment and I like made up an excuse.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with a good. It's usually like in situations. I can't remember a specific one, but I think one of the BS that I do all the time is to get out of like situations that I don't feel like going to.
Yeah.
But I particularly do it for like my internship or like work is when I do it a lot because like I don't usually do it with friends because like I don't cancel like too much. I know I've been bad about the podcast the last couple times, but I'm
Texted me this morning and we're like, I'm so sorry, I forgot about it yesterday. I'm like, that's actually great because it's today.
but like I'm honest about it. Like I feel like I'm honest with you. Like I don't BS with you
Yeah, you don't BS.
because like I straight up just tell you like I completely forgot or like I generally do have the excuses that I make is generally what I have to go do. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever BS'd you once, but with like my internship, am I BSing now?
I know.
But it's like with my internship, I'm like, oh yeah, I probably not okay, not I don't do it too much in my internship, but like just in work in general or like schoolwork or something, like okay, I remember. So like last week, I don't think my teacher no, 2 weeks ago, I don't think my teacher's gonna see this, but I said that like I was sick on Wednesday, like I was generally sick, like but I didn't have any classes. But the next day I was basically like better and I basically had a normal temp, but I had an assignment due that I didn't do because I was sick. So I was just like, hey, I can't make it in today because I'm sick. But I was perfectly fine and I just continued to like play video games all day.
Right. Oh, it's okay. I've done the exact same thing, so it's totally fine.
But like I do that when I just like I'm too busy usually. It's like when I usually get burnt out and I just want to take a break. It's usually like,
Yeah.
oh, I have to go to school. Like what you said about earlier about school being like an excuse to get out of things for work.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of homework.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I can't work. I have a lot of school to do.
Yeah, some a class came up, I dang. But yeah,
Dang.
I feel like everyone in art has a level of BSing skill that I feel like it's almost an requirement to have BSing skills within art.
Absolutely. Creative problem solving. It is not BSing, it is creative problem solving. Like
Yes.
a lot.
And yes. Yes, yes, and yes.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yes. Yay, yay, yay.
Yay, yay,
Yay,
yeah.
yay,
Should I
yay.
dye this front little blonde bit purple?
You dye your hair so much.
I think you don't dye your hair enough.
That you know what? I don't have any come back for that.
Can I dye your hair just once, Caleb?
I don't know about my hair, but I want to do my beard.
Yeah! Let me dye that beard, boy!
On a podcast, you should dye my beard.
Yeah, wait, let's do that.
Because
What
like
color do you want your beard?
I want green for the Eagles.
You want green for the Eagles? I'll fucking dye your beard green for the Eagles.
How long do you think it has to be? Like, is this too short?
No, I could do that.
Yeah. Because like if we started at this length and then I could like just like I'll let it grow really long, but then I can like just trim it off because it's like I have like I don't know, I'm really picky about my hair. I
Okay,
just
yeah.
I'm so anal
As
about
the
like
man with a mullet, but I'm
that
listening
was
to you.
that was a mistake.
No, I liked when you had your mullet.
That that's why I have trust issues when getting my hair cut.
Didn't you ask for a mullet though?
Yeah, but
Did you?
like I explained it all wrong. Like I wanted a mullet, but like he trimmed too high here. where like you know how I usually get my hair cut? It's like there's like stuff like here.
Yeah.
It's like just like a temple fade,
Mm.
where it's like just my temple is kind of faded and it's like a
Yeah.
little bit of a mullet. He like shaved all the way up here, in which it looked like a trailer park mullet instead of like a modern mullet, in which I wanted a modern mullet and not a trailer park mullet. I'm like,
And he was like, there.
I'm like, fuck. And I felt so weird going back home. I'm like, I'm probably going
You
to
wouldn't let anybody see it. I wanted to see it so bad, and you kept the hat on.
I parties, I hat, hat,
Hat.
hat. But I've been going to the same guy for the last 2.5 years at Diamond Greens.
Aw, say.
I always pick him. And the one time that I didn't pick him,
You got
mullet.
a bad mullet.
Bad mullet. He
I
knows
think you
me.
should try to get a modern mullet though, because I thought that's a good look.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just don't trust it anymore of how I want it. Like
That's
I can't be in public with another mullet. That was so bad.
it was such an era for you.
Yeah, I'm glad that era is gone. But every every time I walk in too, the guy like kind of knows me because like I don't go in that much. I go in like every 4 months because like right now it's like super long and you don't even know if I have like a mullet type style. But every time I come in, I'm like r retro mullet, and he knows what I mean, and he gives me the haircut. Because like
Awesome.
because like the first time I went in, he was like, "Yo, this reminds me of a retro mullet." I'm like, "Yeah, retro mullet. I like that." And then
Retro mullet.
now I just like go in. I'm like, "Hey,
Aw.
I'm retro mullet guy. All I have to do is just like retro mullet." And he's like, "Yeah."
He's like,
I
yeah,
think
we're dyeing your beard green.
yes. Next podcast with
Next
your
podcast.
okay. What a wild podcast if we did it in person, interviewing your roommate and doing a mukbang.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Dude, that would be so chaotic. We're like in the midst of dyeing my beard and we're just shoving our faces with food. We're like, can we actually do that?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yes. All three at once. I feel
All
like
three at once.
interview, mullet or color change.
I give you a mullet. Mullet time.
That would be so bad.
Hey, it would be great.
I trust you. I trust you.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. You want to end
Happy,
this
happy podcast.
happy podcast? All right. You want to end
Bye.
this? Bye. Wait, how do I stop this? Oh, crap.